Hey guys, welcome back to Buzzer to Buzzer. Alright guys, so the 11th week of the 2020 NFL season has officially elapsed, and per the usual, we're going to be going over our 5 games which we prepared to last week, seeing who got what game right and wrong, and performing some analysis as well. So without any further ado, let's get to it. Guys, the first game which we're going to be going over is going to be the Thursday night game last week to kick the 11th week off, that being between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. Now, guys, the Seahawks won their second matchup against the Cardinals 28-21. I know that Abi is happy, although he didn't pick for them, but he's still happy in the heart. Abi, your thoughts for this game?
Yeah, so obviously I didn't pick the Seahawks, and I think a big reason why I didn't pick them is because I didn't really have any faith in their defense. But I really do want to say I was really impressed with their defense for the first time like in forever, honestly. Again, especially against a high-powered offense like the Cardinals, like their defense is amazing, and I think like their defense is probably the best part of their game. Russell Wilson, he didn't make any costly decisions. He just made good passes. They ran the ball a lot. That's also what they had a good balance of running and passing. And yeah, Kyler Murray was looking a bit off. I guess maybe he was a bit injured back in the game. But yeah, I'm just really happy the Seahawks got the dub.
I think the key to this game was a balanced attack that the Seahawks gave. They ran the ball a lot, and then Russell Wilson really didn't have to throw that much. I think he only had about 200 passing yards, and I think that's a good formula to win the game. You don't want to depend on Russell Wilson every game to win you the game. The Seahawks defense for this first time showed me that they have a competent pass rush. They were constantly sacking Kyler Murray, even on the last play of the game, and so if they can just continue that, they can have a deep playoff run.
I think a large part of this victory, and I said it in our predictions video, it's attributed to Pete Carroll. He knows what mistakes they made last week and the last time they lost to the Cardinals. He went in with a game plan that would fix those problems, and he succeeded. They executed everywhere where they failed. The pass rush was good. Russell Wilson didn't make as many mistakes. The run game was established, So the offense and defense was highly revolutionized, I guess, in the second run around with the Cardinals because of what Pete Carroll did.
Exactly. But you got to say, the offense I always knew was going to be there. We saw DK get a touchdown, Tyler Lockett balling as the usual as well. And the main thing was that defense, man. Carlos Dunlap, finally, he got like 2 sacks that game. Got to give credit what the credit's due. Pete Carroll, harsh, like you said, watching the film and coming out like the elite coach he is, putting on display. And now the Seahawks are atop of the NFC West. All right, guys, now moving on towards the next game, which we predicted, that being between the Green Bay Packers and the Indianapolis Colts. Now, guys, this was a game which went till the wire and heading into overtime as well, in which the Colts pulled off the win against Aaron Rodgers 34-31, improving the record to 7-3. Our thoughts on this game?
I think this has been a kind of theme for the Packers across the past 2 years. Every time they're faced with a good defense that can block the run, they aren't able to do well on offense. You look at the 49ers last year twice, and you look at the Colts this year, and Tampa Bay this year as well. Every single game, the Packers weren't able to run the ball, and they weren't able to get that offense going. I think the Colts secondary did a really good job of limiting their receivers to only a few big plays during the game. But I think the story of this game was definitely the Colts defense and the way they played.
This game could have gone either way. It was really close up until the end, with Marquez Valdez-Scantling fumbling the ball at the end of the game to give the Colts, the field goal to win the game in overtime. But regardless, this game was back and forth the whole time. The Colts defense had opportunities, the Packers offense had opportunities, but it came down to, one play and the Colts came on top.
Yeah, I think people need to give the Colts a bit more credit. I feel like they're not a team that a lot of people talk about. When they talk about like great teams right now in the NFL, it's the Chiefs, it's the Steelers, it's the Buccaneers. But I feel like not a lot of people talk about the Colts. And their offense definitely surprised me against the Packers. The Packers don't have a great defense in general, but Phillip Rivers, 3 touchdowns, the one interception. Their rushing game was good. Their defense was good. So, yeah, the Colts are just a pretty balanced team, to be honest. So I think that's why they got the dub.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I must say I'm in the same boat. Early in the season, I had no idea that Indianapolis Colts could be this good. But seeing them fired away with Phillip Rivers at the center is looking pretty good. Not only did he go for like 300 yards, but also this was a must-win game. The Tennessee Titans, they picked up a win against Baltimore early that week in the AFC South. If the Colts lost this game, they could have probably not won the division. But now we're about to see a very close matchup between the Titans and the Colts. And the Colts, with this win this week, are putting their name still in the competition. All right, guys, now moving on towards our third game, which we predicted, that being between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, guys, this, like the Packers game, was a game which went down till the wire with Patrick Mahomes throwing the game-winning touchdown to Travis Kelce, winning the game 35-31 to allow the Chiefs to improve to 9-1 and get that comeback win against the Raiders from early on in the season. Our thoughts on this game?
I think this game was significant to two things. The first being the Chiefs are vulnerable and you can definitely beat them, but you have to execute perfectly and you have to get everything down from play calling to possession, time of possession, and every single aspect of the game right. And the second being, you never give Patrick Mahomes the last chance. You gave him the last 2 minutes to come down the field and drive. He's going to get the job done. It's significant of the fact that Chiefs, you can beat them, but you have to basically be perfect in order to do it. It was a great win by the Chiefs, and the Raiders put up one hell of a fight.
It seems like every time the Chiefs play the Raiders, at least 2 times they've played this year, the Raiders play like absolutely amazing. I mean, it is 1-1 in the series right now. That game could have gone both ways, like Har said. It was on to the wire. Pat Mahomes obviously has that clutch gene that's why they won the game. It was down to the wire, both teams. Derek Carr, I think you have to give him credit a lot. Pat Mahomes did amazing, but so did Derek Carr. 3 touchdowns, I believe almost 300 yards with a pick. But yeah, him and Josh Jacobs and Darren Waller are just a great combo right now. And I think they're definitely a dark horse candidate when they do good.
I think the scary thing here is the Raiders played almost a perfect game. They pretty much did everything they needed to, and they still lost the game, which is a testament to kind of how good Patrick Mahomes and his Chiefs offense is. But yeah, exactly. Harsh got it exactly right. You can't give Patrick Mahomes 1:43 and a timeout to win the game. You have to do something to stall the clock out. You have to run the ball more. I think they didn't run the ball enough. And you got to keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline if you want to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, you guys covered it. I mean, this goes without question. You got to say, Patrick Mahomes showing us why he was the league MVP, why he secured that mega contract over the offseason, just far and away. You got to give credit where credit is due. Patrick Mahomes, just amazing. Nothing much more to say. And now the Chiefs, I think we can effectively say, got the AFC West locked up. All right, guys, now moving on towards the fourth game, which we predicted, that being between the Los Angeles Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And guys, this looks like a recurring theme. This game went down to the wire as well, with the Rams edging out 27-24 on a game-winning field goal, improving their record to 7-3. Our thoughts on this tight matchup?
I said in our predictions video, and I'll say it again, the Buccaneers cannot succeed against a good defense. We know their offense is elite, but if there's some sort of stifling defense that can hold them within 20 points, like we saw with the Bears, like we saw twice with the Saints, and like we saw last night with the Rams, they are going to be shut down. Their defense is good, but it's not capable of stopping an offense from putting 20 on the board. And we saw last night the Rams, Cooper Kupp and Robert Wood simply just went wherever they wanted with the ball, and they beat them 24-17.
Yeah, also against a good defense like the Rams, I think a concern.
I got the
is,
score wrong. 27. Oops.
It's fine.
Okay.
Also, I think a bit of a concern with the Buccaneers offense is obviously when Tom Brady is under pressure. You saw the interceptions he threw yesterday. It's not like those were just like unlucky throws or like tipped off the receivers. They were just horrible throws. They were completely not even close to his intended target. So I think he just needs to be able to handle pressure, especially when Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd are coming at you. You need to be able to handle pressure, and that pass rush really got to him. So I think that's why they won the game. The Rams won the game.
You guys covered the Bucs offense. I want to talk about the Bucs defense. You could say they had the 2 picks and some sacks or whatever, but they weren't good for most of the game. You can't allow Jared Goff to complete 80% of his passes and expect to win the game. I mean, every play you see, Rams receivers are running slants and they're wide open down the middle. Every single play, the Rams don't even have to run the ball. They just throw the ball every play of the game. If the Bucs defense wants to do anything for this Bucs offense, you have to stop and kind of, put pressure on the quarterback, because Jared Goff had a clean pocket, a lot of time to throw, and he was able to dissect that defense apart.
All right, yeah, you guys pretty much covered it, guys. The offense of the Rams was just firing away. The Bucs put up a really good fight as well, but got to give credit to the Rams defense. The rookie Jordan Fuller, oh my gosh, looking like Ed Reed or Troy Polamalu out there. That safety with 2 interceptions, he is going to be a beast in this league. Got to give him credit, and the Rams are pulling away. All right, guys, now moving on towards our fifth and final game, which we predicted, that being between the Tennessee Titans and the Baltimore Ravens. Now, guys, the Titans going out there getting the job done once again against Lamar Jackson, winning the game 30-24 to improve their record to 7-3, and more importantly, stay in contention for that AFC South title. Our thoughts on this game?
There's my opinion, there's only one reason why the Titans won that game. It's because of Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry. Obviously, Brian Tannehill didn't have a bad performance at all. He had a good performance, but Derrick Henry obviously getting that OT game-winning run. That was just very clutch in my opinion. The Ravens. They are looking a bit questionable in the last couple of weeks. That lost to Steelers, lost to the Patriots, and now losing to the Titans. I'm not sure. I feel like their defense is not bad. I just think their offense, like once again, Lamar, he just needs to be able to like throw better, and all he does is run. So like the defenses are figuring him out. It's like we've been saying this whole season. All defenses are figuring out how to guard Lamar Jackson, how to stop him from running, and obviously that's evident with their 4 losses right now. So I don't know if they can beat the Steelers. We're gonna have to see how that matchup comes out, but definitely credit to the Titans.
Yeah, we've been saying this all season. I think the league's catching up to Lamar, and if you can't throw the ball effectively in this league, you're not going to win many games. Lamar had his big MVP season last year, running the ball really well and having those dink and dunk passes. But if the Ravens want to go anywhere, and right now they're out of playoff contention, so if they even want to make the playoffs, Lamar's going to have to be better.
Yeah, it's disappointing to see how this team's been playing in these past few weeks. They had the win against the Colts, but regardless, they've been playing very poor football on the offensive side. The defense is what it is, and they come out every week trying their best, and they put up the best numbers they can. But the offense still has to do something. Lamar has to find a way to get those passes downfield. The running the ball isn't always going to work, and when it doesn't, they're going to lose like they did against the Titans.
Exactly. I mean, you covered the offense of the Derrick Henry-led offense. Derrick Henry just being a total beast. Got to give credit to A.J. Brown as well, having a touchdown in there as well. But I think the main thing which I'm looking at now with this win as the Titans is the AFC South is going to be one heck of a battle between the Colts and the Titans. You can't even say right now who is going to take that number 1 seed, but I think one thing's for certain, it's going to be really fun to watch who comes on top. All right, guys. Well, that was quite the tight week of matchups for the 11th week of the 2020 NFL season. As always, guys, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below your main takeaways from these close games. Guys, take care. Have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you guys on the next one. See you guys.